Good afternoon, everyone. Once again, this is Chiron Love O. Perez. So today, I am going to discuss all about folklore, its importance, characteristics, qualities, and values. But before that, we are going to unlock first if what is a folklore. The term folk suggests people belonging to different groups which shared a common factor, language, religion, culture, and traditions. The knowledge of such kind of traditions and culture is known as folklore. The very notion of folk conjures up the feeling that it belongs to the field of illiterate and marginalized people. It is a fact that the oral tradition on which the folklore is based. It is often used as a tool, as a voice. Folklore is all about human sufferings and pains, which are transmitted in the forms of folk narrative, material culture, social folk costumes, and performing folk arts. Notwithstanding disparate ethnicity, people also shared at least one important cultural thing in common. Example, tradition. This tradition renders communities to share some common elements like folk tales, folk songs, folk costumes, folk arts, and so on. This facilitates to generate a shared identity for the groups. Like any other disciplines, folklore study utilizes a number of theories and methods. So now, let's move on to the importance of folklore. A folklore study is all-inclusive as it includes all the genres of our culture, both spiritual and material aspects. Folklore has been used as a mechanism to reconstruct ancient beliefs, costumes, and rituals. One aspect of folklore studies is that it helps us to understand the reach of folklore and mystic tradition of our ancestors. In understanding and appreciating the folklore of our ancestors, we develop an understanding of their culture from whence we sprung. Another motivate for the study of folklore was nationalism, which reinforced ethnic identity and figured in struggles for political independence. Folk culture is a way of establishing unity among the different people living in the same country. Traditional culture is seen as proof of distinctiveness among different societies and as confirmation that a culture can be based on oral traditions. Then, for the characteristics of folklore, it is the expression body of culture shared by a particular group of people. It encompasses the traditions common to that culture, subculture, or group. This includes oral traditions such as tales, proverbs, and jokes. They include material culture ranging from traditional building styles to handmade toys to common to the group. Folklore also includes customary lore, taking actions for folk beliefs, the forms and rituals of celebrations such as Christmas, weddings, folk dances, initiation rites. Each one of these, either singly or in combination, it is considered a folklore artifact. Just as essential as the form, folklore also encompasses the transmission of these artifacts from one region to another or from one generation to the next. Folklore is not something one can typically gain in a formal school curriculum or study in the fine arts. Instead, these traditions are passed along informally from one individual to another, either through verbal instruction or demonstration. So let's move on to the qualities. The qualities of a folk tales or folklore. It is a folk tales usually about ordinary people and everyday life. The stories include setting, characters, and a problem. The characters are often flat, representing one particular trait such as cleverness. Hyperbole is always found in tall tales. So there are types of folk tales: tales of talking animals, tales that tell why, tales of magic like fairy tales, cumulative tales, and legendary tales. For the values of folklore, as folk tales were passed down over generations, they modeled behaviors and helped reinforce expectations about how to live a meaningful life. Over one-time folktales subtly incorporated character traits like caring, resourcefulness, trust, or courage into the fabric of the stories. Folktales allow students to experience one of the ways a society develops a sense of moral behavior in its children. Children today can learn from this rich literary heritage, which provides both a window into other cultures and a mirror that allows viewers to reflect more clearly on aspects of their own culture. So that's all about folklore. Thank you for watching.